Hello and welcome to iTherapy Limited, the smart choice for anyone wanting to make positive improvements into their lives. I'm Matthew George, qualified professional hypnotherapy practitioner and also full member of the Professional Hypnotherapy Practitioners Association. Today's module is on weight loss, and this is a summary here that we'll go through at the end, and there's also a small demonstration here about what weight loss actually means and how we achieve it. The internet, I'm sure you all know, is full of diet plans, and as you look through those diet plans, there are quite a few contradictions with them. So when you look through, you'll have some diet plans that say you have to increase your intake of protein and decrease the amount of carbohydrates that you eat. And they suggest that you do that by eating fish and meat and nuts and all these different things. And then there are other diets that say you should cut down your meat portions by 1 portion per day and make that, a really small portion. So there's high protein versus low protein. Then you've got other diets that say that eggs are particularly bad and they give you lots of weight because they're high in calorific value. And then you've got other diets that say eat as many eggs as you like because they're actually full of protein and that helps to burn away fat. Then you've got other diets that say you should really cut down on your dairy intake and eat really low fat dairy. Other diets that say it doesn't make any difference whether you eat high or low fat dairy. So there's a whole host of information available on the internet, and some of it's really helpful and easy to follow, and other parts of it are really contradictory. So what do you do if you want to lose weight? And you really are motivated to get on and take that challenge? Which diet do you follow? It can be confusing, that's for sure. One of the best-selling products on the internet are diet pills, diet aids, in fact. So that includes things like raspberry ketones, antioxidant pills have been suggested on the internet as really being beneficial towards weight loss, and that also help you look younger at the same time. So, buy 1 pill and you get 2 positive benefits from it. And then there's protein shakes also. So all those protein shakes, even if you are not looking at gaining muscle mass, they still claim to be helpful to burn your fat away, as there's a high amount of protein in there, and protein burns fat. There's wild claims on there, like you will be super slim in 3 weeks. All sorts of things. There are varying reports on all of the items. Some of them are backed by medical input. So there's been a survey that's taken place, for example, and that's or a controlled test within a laboratory that's measured the effectiveness of these different things over a period of time. And some are not quite so well tested or so well regulated. So you really need to take care as you're looking through all of this information. Most people who follow any kind of diet plan, the word diet means that you're going to stop or diet from a certain thing, so you're going to stop doing something for a period of time. And most diets, they have an end point, so people will do a diet for a particular period of time, but there'll come a time when that diet reaches its natural conclusion and it stops. And the time at which that diet stops, that's when people find that they gain all of that weight that they've lost, and quite often a little bit more. So diets are not really, the most effective way at achieving your weight loss. there's no real secret to weight loss. It's really quite straightforward. So if you can see this here, this little diagram, you've got calories out at the bottom. That means the amount of calories that you use in a particular day. And calories in at the top. And calories in is, of course, the food that you eat. Now, if you eat more calories in a day than you actually use, you'll put on weight. If you use more calories in a day, so that might be through exercise or whatever, if you use more calories in a day than you put in, and you consistently do that, you'll lose weight. That is as complex as it gets. So that's why it's really important that you use a good combination of managing what goes in and doing some form of exercise, and you do need to incorporate that exercise into part of your daily routine. So joining a gym is quite a good idea, but actually it's not something that most people keep up with. So every year, come January and the New Year's resolution, all the gyms up and down the country are full, and by the time you get to the end of March, when people have not used it or they've stopped going, that's when all the memberships start tailing off, and that's when you can get some really good offers actually at joining the gym, as the gyms try and get their customer base back up again. So if you try and incorporate exercise into your daily routine, there's a number of different things that you could perhaps consider. If you take the bus to work, for example, you could try getting off the stop before your actual stop and then walk the rest of the way. You could do that particularly on your way home, because obviously you're not bound by the fact that you have to be at home at a certain time. So going for a walk, instead of when you're at home and you want to go to the corner shop, if you're a driver, you will naturally jump in the car and off you go. So if you do just pop to the local shops, why not walk there instead? Just take the opportunity to make exercise a part of your normal daily routine, rather than trying to figure out a way of really doing something extra or adding an extra part to your day. We're all busy, and when you try and commit to a certain amount of time on a regular basis, it's really difficult to maintain, despite the best of intentions. So try and incorporate exercise into part of your daily routine and be creative with it. If you can park a little bit further away when you go to the supermarket, if you can park your car further away from the main entrance, then you've got that little bit further to walk to get to the main entrance. Just be creative. It doesn't have to be, you have to do exercise and therefore you must join a gym. Even consider things like in your workplace, for example, taking the stairs instead of the lift. All these things just help to get your body moving and get into that routine of being active. It's really important to incorporate water into your diet. Water really helps to move everything around, and it helps with circulation, it helps with the breakdown of food. And it also, if you take a glass of water before you eat, that will give you the effect of feeling full. So therefore, as you look at reducing your portion sizes down to a sensible portion size for one, you'll already have some of that space in your stomach partially filled. So when you do eat your smaller portion size, you will feel full. Looking at the basic kind of intake that we need to do. You need to eat 3 meals a day. That's a given. And you need to look at timing those: breakfast, lunch and dinner. And if you're on shift work, again, you'll have to be creative with how you actually manage that. But effectively, a cereal based product or bread, brown is better in the morning, a portion size for one, some low fat dairy, And then in the afternoon, you can look at just a sandwich with low-fat mayonnaise or a low-fat yogurt to go with it. And then in the evening, again, your normal portion size with a part of a protein component, whether that's meat or a nut roast or whatever your preference is, a fish-based product. Whatever your preference is for that is fine. So a piece of protein together with some vegetables. And that's the secret to dieting. Now, there is a hypnotherapy session that goes with this learning module, and it is available for download from www.i-therapyltd.com. So if you log on to that website and just search for therapy sessions, you'll find the one that's linked with this learning module. It's just called weight loss. If you've got any inquiries at all, or if you've got any comments or anything you'd like to send in to us, please do so at inquiries@i-therapyltd.com. And you can also follow us on Facebook and Twitter. You'd be very welcome to do so. So, in terms of a summary for today's session, you need sensible rounded meals and 3 times per day, so that's your normal breakfast, dinner and lunch. And as I mentioned before, just be creative if you're doing shift work about how that works for you. Limit snacks to a minimum. There is no need to respond to any feeling of hunger that you get throughout the day by giving in to a packet of crisps or biscuits or sweets. It's okay to feel hungry. As long as you're having your 3 meals per day and they are of a portion size for one person, that's fine. Just keep the snacks to a minimum. Drink water, drink plenty of water. I'm not going to specify exactly how much because everybody's different, but if you could look at, perhaps if you're a coffee drinker or a tea drinker, perhaps you could forfeit every other cup throughout the day. So make every other one of those drinks a glass of water. Incorporate some exercise to your daily routine. So I'm not saying here that you need to go and join a gym, but you do need to incorporate some form of exercise. Just get your body moving. Just start to enjoy the benefits of being a bit more active. It won't take long for you actually to start feeling really quite a remarkable difference in just how much healthier you feel. Take your time eating is the next one. There's no need to scoff your meals down. Just take your time eating and make sure that you are having portion sizes just for one person. And when you look at taking your time eating, perhaps consider between each mouthful just putting your knife and fork down, and that will naturally introduce a delay in you eating your meal. Don't eat before bed, that's quite a crucial one. It's a pretty straightforward reason as to why that's the case. When you're asleep, you're not actually using a great deal of energy, so anything that you eat beforehand, whatever calories that you put into your body that don't get used, get stored, and they get stored as fat. So if you eat quite late at night, when your body's in a state of rest, your body doesn't have the opportunity to start processing that food, and therefore the energy that is not used from that food will get converted and stored as fat. So don't eat before bed. The next one is put the scales away. There's a reason for this. When you constantly look at the scales and you are weighing yourself on a daily or a weekly basis, sometimes it can be disheartening if you think that you've really been making a conscious effort and you've been doing your exercise and you've really limited your portion sizes, and yet there's no significant difference in those numbers. Now that could be because as your fat gets lost from the body and you are becoming a bit more active, your muscles actually could be increasing in their size, and with that added muscle size, muscle does weigh heavier than fat, and so a larger proportion of fat that's lost could be outbalanced by the fact that you've had a lesser amount of new muscle growth. That's one reason as to why when you look at the scales you might find that there's no noticeable difference to the numbers. So just put the scales away. You don't need scales to show you how you're looking and to tell you how you're feeling. You'll notice that yourself. You'll notice that you are feeling much healthier, more awake, with more energy, and you'll also notice just how much more comfortable your clothes are feeling. You know, instead of being tight around your body, they start to feel a bit more loose. And focus on how healthy you feel. The whole idea about losing weight is not so that you can go and enjoy your holiday on the beach and have a great looking body. The great looking body part is really a side effect of losing weight. The main focus on losing weight is about your health. It's about making sure that you are as the most healthy version that you can be. So really focus on how you feel and how healthy you feel. Make that your motivation, and don't give yourself a really tight timescale to achieve it in. For example, I'm going on holiday in 3 months' time, so I want to lose 5 stone. That type of thing just doesn't work, because you're giving yourself a really tight time frame. That means that you're likely to go on a form of diet and follow it really closely, but that's not sustainable. And what we're looking at doing here with iTherapy Limited is providing you with a sustainable program that you can maintain and just continue forever. And that will naturally just melt away the fat, and you will be a lot more healthy as a result of it. It's something that is sustainable, it's something you can do forever. It doesn't require you to join a gym, it just requires you to be a bit more creative about your lifestyle and how you actually take those opportunities to exercise where you can. That's the end of this weight loss session. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope it's been informative, and I do wish you the very best of luck in your endeavours to lose weight. As I said before, the therapy session that accompanies this particular module on weight loss is available for download at i-therapy limited ltd, i-therapyltd.com. And if you do have anything that you'd like to communicate with us, you can reach us on inquiries at i-therapyltd.com. And you are very welcome to join us on Facebook and Twitter, as I mentioned before. So thanks very much for listening. I really hope the therapy session does wonders for you, and that you reach your ideal size and weight for yourself, and that you maintain it. Thank you very much for listening.